My fellow humans, I bid you welcome. Today it's my birthday and I am all alone in a dark room without internet connection on a ship in the middle of the sea. Also, I've been awake for like 8 hours already and it's not even lunchtime yet. And a bloody bug stung my leg, so it hurts like a bitch. But this is not even the worst birthday of my life. Oh no, it's actually a solid top 5. Because I have a birthday hat, some miserable cake, and a cold and heartless piece of metal that can sing me happy birthday. Wow, now I feel all the love and human connection I need. Also, this cake fucking sucks. I am currently headed to Sardinia, one of my favorite places on earth. However, this means that I will be away from my computer and workbench for quite a long time. But did you really think this would be enough to get rid of me? Pfft, you would hope. I can't build stuff nor edit videos, but I can bring you along, you know, to spend some quality time together and have some fun. Does this sound like a threat? It is. Like all the other YouTubers desperate for content and watch time, I had the super original idea of shoving down your throats a Q&A nobody asked for. You are most welcome. I will gladly put the camera down on a tripod, but somehow my hands are less shaky than the walls. So buckle up, because this will be chaotic, to say the least, as it will be not only a space-time warping Q&A, but also a shitty travel vlog and, at some point, a cooking show. If it wasn't clear enough already, I have no idea what I'm doing with this channel. Please send out. Whoa! I teleported to my destination! How convenient! Did you know that I did my high school thesis on Einstein-Rosen bridges and the theoretical physics of time travel? I was a freaking nerd. Also, yes, this is my hair in their natural status. Focus on the video. A couple of weeks ago, I put a form on my Instagram account so that you buttercups could ask me questions completely anonymously. I didn't really know what to expect, but there are no weird questions about specific parts of my body, and no go back to your channel in Italian, you idiot! So, thank you, I guess. Let's start with some quick questions to warm up. With all the weapons you own, when will you become a warlord? Soon, my child, soon. The battle droids are almost ready to deploy. Which fantasy tribe is your favorite, and why is it goblins? Yep, bingo! I don't know, I guess I really admire their complete lack of survival instinct and respect for human life. I relate to that. One of my favorite Magic the Gathering decks is all about throwing hordes of goblins at the opponent without caring at all if they get killed or mauled, and using them as literal projectiles. It's great fun! This is called a nuraghe, and it's one of the oldest man-made constructions you can find here in Italy. And this is what will gently caress your legs while you walk. This building is millennia old, and it's right there beside the road. This is so cool! Sometimes I'm very happy to be short. This is called the Elephant Rock, and well, it's a rock that looks like an elephant, so I guess it's a good name. The sea really is my happy place. We should blow up the south of France with a lot of dynamite and sink it into the ocean, so that I can have both the mountains and the sea a few miles away from my house. Vote me at the next European elections, I will make Spain an island. Next question. What is the origin of your channel logo? Well, I am awful at drawing everything except frogs, so that specific frog has become my signature over the years, and I adopted it as a channel logo because it was cute and I had no better ideas. But I added a mustache to make it more lord-like. See, that's my original frog, and that's my frog with a mustache.
pollo, poi che va molto buono con pollo.
They say Italy is beautiful, but damn! So many stairs. More stairs. So many stairs. Oh, for fuck's sake. Almost there. That's my car. Mine is better. You should really take proper care of your weapon, bro. Intreccio. Weaving. Vannerie. Flex. Of course. Stairs. Why not? Fuck you, winged creatures. And we are back to my house, because in my plane of existence time is convoluted and a bit wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, and also timelines never make any sense in any of my videos. Did you know that sometimes I shoot them over the span of several days or weeks, but wearing the same clothes so that it looks like it's the same day? Yeah! I watched them, I swear. On the same page of the previous question, I've been asked, what is the meaning of your nickname? Oh, this will be a trip down memory lane, and also the reason why we are here in this specific location. A long time ago, I was working on one of my first board games, whose prototype you can see here in front of me. And before you ask, no, you cannot buy this anywhere, because even though I worked on this for like 2 years, maybe 3, I never published anything because, well, it wasn't really a great game. But the concept and some mechanics were actually pretty cool. While I was working on the lore and monsters of the different areas of the game, I created a species of corrosive slime that is a staple of many JRPGs, that took a different form depending on the biome in which he lived. I really like when names of things have a sound that reminds me of some of their characteristics, so I called my fantasy species the Broblord, because to me it sounded mushy and slimy, and it was just pure nonsense. My girlfriend at the time was helping me playtest the game, and when she encountered a Broblord for the first time, she found the name hilarious, because I don't really know, but we both had a good laugh. So I decided to turn the Broblord into the mascot of the game, and into a sort of inside joke, since in every advanced area of the game you could find a unique version of the Broblord with his own set of abilities and skills. And of course, in one of the highest level areas of the game, there was a hidden legendary boss fight that was the king of all the Broblords. The Lord Broblord, and it was such a bizarre and uniquely stupid name that it stuck, and I started using it also for other characters in other games, and in the end for myself on the internet. And now I have adopted it also on YouTube, so that when I will inevitably become rich and famous and journalists want to talk about me, they will have a hard time pronouncing it. At this point I just want to mess with them, out of spite. Fun fact that is fun for everyone except me. In Italian the letter R is rolled, so it would be Lord Broblord. But I have a fair bit of rhotacism, and I find it difficult to roll my R's in normal speech. Thus, I can't even pronounce my own nickname in my own language. But in the end, I get to choose how it's pronounced, so I decide I am the only one saying it right. It's Lord Broblord, and you have to say it exactly like this, or I will cry. I am technically on vacation, even though I am still working on YouTube and other projects, because it's fun to be me. Anyway, apart from that, I've been doing so much stuff in such a short amount of time that I am absolutely exhausted. I need to take some days off from my days off.
8 hours later.
How do people relax? It's boring. Another question. Are you getting dizzy with all these changes in location and skin tone? Yeah, editing this will be fun. Someone asked, why did you choose to be a villain, my lord? You see, I've always been a very goal-oriented person, and being evil is great because it lets you focus on what really matters, on your objectives, without worrying too much about useless stuff like ethics or safety or, I don't know, sanity. Jokes aside, I think it's a fun persona that really fits the sense of humor that I've had for the last 15 years. You know, a bit dark, a bit over the top. You may think that this is an act I put up in front of the camera for the lols, but no, I am the kind of person that jokes about human extinction via nuclear weapons during Christmas dinner. I'm not sorry, Mom. Also, playing that character is just genuinely amusing, because it's the exact opposite of what I am in real life, that is, a beacon of joy and positivity. I don't know, it's just something silly and cartoonish. It's like a second personality I switch to when I want to say something stupid. So, most of the time. Okay, Google, at which point does a second personality become the main one? I wanted to shoot a video here, but there's a lot of wind and interference from a nearby antenna, so no luck. Well, whatever, enjoy the panorama. These giant rocks were placed here between 5 and 7,000 years ago. Yeah, more like 6.2. I came to the beach at dusk for some good old stargazing. So while we wait for the night to become darker, let's answer some questions related to space. I love space. One day I will get on a spaceship. Do you believe in aliens? Do you think we are going to meet them one day? Yes and no. I mean, I don't believe in little grey men in flying saucers that come to steal our cows, but I do believe we are not alone. Look up, there are gazillions of other planets out there, and even if only the smallest percentage of them is inhabitable, we are still talking about trillions and trillions of other planets that could have developed some form of complex life. Thinking we are so special and unique is pretty arrogant to me. And look at all the insane shapes that life takes here on Earth. I get a stroke every time I see a sci-fi movie where aliens are just humans with a different skin color or some horse. I'm sorry, but being a naked ape is not a requirement to become a space-traveling civilization. And we could go on for hours talking about the Fermi paradox. That is, if there are so many aliens out there, why haven't we met them yet? And of course, I have no answer for that, except that we are a really young species. Space is huge, and we don't have the technology to really explore a galaxy. And we can't even expect to tell other people, hey, we are here, come visit, because our oldest radio waves have barely reached other stars before turning into pure noise. So maybe we do have close neighbors, but if they are not vastly more advanced than us, we just cannot know about them. It's like trying to meet other people without ever leaving your room. It doesn't work. I've been trying for the last 20 years. Well, the ISO of my camera can only go so high, so it's time to bring out the lights. When we're talking about space travel, do you think we're gonna live on another planet someday? Oh, I surely hope so, because if we don't, that means that something horrible happened to our species. As humans, we are made to explore and expand. That's what we always did, and if given the chance, we will not stop to our planet. So, if we don't get extinct or get trapped here for whatever reason, yes, we will try to colonize other planets. Will we do it in our lifetime? Fingers crossed, that would be so freaking exciting. Elon, if you want to send someone utterly incompetent to Mars, you already have my number. I know you can't see me because it's pitch black, but I am under the most beautiful starlit sky I have ever seen in my entire life, and I wish I had a camera good enough to show you, but I will try to take some pictures. A clearly mentally unstable person asks, worst fruit to put on pizza? Pineapple, kiwi or banana? First of all, in what kind of circle of hell did you get the idea of putting kiwi on a pizza? I never tried any of those delicious dishes, so I don't have an answer to your question. Do I really need to do this? Good thing we have no government right now, because this would be enough to revoke my citizenship, and rightfully so. Here we are. Yay! Let's start with pineapple. Come on, maybe it's good. Maybe it's good, or maybe not. Oh. This is something. Not something good, but something. I mean, it's not awful, but it's not good. Why? Why? Now, kiwi. And this is the one I am most scared about. Oh. It's sweet. Yeah, I hate this. Now it's time for banana, and I have no idea what to expect. Ah! Oh! This is the worst. Ah! Who had this idea? Mamma mia. No. You have so many choices when it comes to pizza toppings. Why banana? No, no, no. Forbidden. No. Does anyone really eat pizza with banana? Anyone in the world? Apparently, banana pizza is really popular in Sweden. Curses be upon you, Vikings! May God have mercy of you heathens, because I will not! So, we have a clear winner. This is better than starving to death. This is horrible. And this is a war crime. Well, thank you very much for this question. Next! Wabam! Travel vlogger pose! There is so much wind! If Norman Reedus can do this, I can do this! Ah. Ah. Ah.
Oh no!
Great, it's 10 AM and I almost died 3 times already. Don't worry, Mom, safety is my second name. This entire coastline is called the Paradise Coast, and it's a well-deserved name, if you ask me. If this is how I die, I mean, could be worse. I ate lunch and went for a swim without waiting 3 hours. Yes! Try to climb while holding the camera. What could go wrong? I really need a cameraman or camera woman, camera entity, camera creature. At least 50% of this video will be me sweating under the sun and out of breath. Top quality content. I have discovered that I am completely unable to follow a simple path, both in life and in trekking. Boy, oh boy, this video will get long and shaky. Sorry about that. Why don't you make gaming videos or something related to technology? I do love gaming, but sadly, even on my native planet, days are pretty short and time is limited, so lately I've been playing very little, if anything. Perhaps making videos would be a good excuse to start playing more once again, but certainly not on this channel. Maybe on Twitch, maybe in the new house once I finally find it. Let me know if you will be interested, but it won't happen soon. Yeah, this is safe. Also, just a treat for those of you that reached this far into the video. One of my dreams is to publish an indie game, and after a lot of studying and prototyping, I could be working on a small little project, but again, time and money. I need more clones of myself. That was terrifying. Let's end this on a high note. Someone felt philosophical and asked me, what is the meaning of life? Well, if I were a fun YouTuber, I would say something quirky like 42, lol, but no. I am boring, I don't understand sarcasm, and I have a fetish for existential dread, so that's what you get. While absolutely fascinating and worth protecting, I believe life in itself has no meaning and no purpose. Humans are just weirdly shaped bags of dead things that for a brief amount of time stick together and make up stuff that is not dead. And the universe around us is big and cold and chaotic, and it doesn't care at all about the puny little organism that try to survive in it. I like to think about our existence as a game. First of all, you have to throw a couple quadrillion dice that represent all the variables that led to your birth. Did one of your ancestors get eaten by a dinosaur? Did Earth get hit by a gamma ray burst? If you get all natural 20s, congratulations! You are one of the few lucky ones that get to play their first turn. And then what? You get to play for no more than 70 to 120 turns, if you are lucky. And then you have to live. But no one tells you what to do. No one knows the rules of the game or the winning conditions. You just have to figure out everything by yourself with a strict time limit. Messy, stressful, but exciting. Because if the game has no goals, that means that we get to pick our own. The game has no rules, except for a few physical limitations, so we have an infinite amount of choices. And that may sound overwhelming, but Come on, you are the result of 14 billion years of the most mind-blowing cosmic phenomena, insane chemical reactions and biological evolution, so I'm sure you can manage. I'll give you my own winning condition, but it's a bit embarrassing and fucked up, so please don't take it as an example. I like to imagine the end of the universe. Always happy thoughts. Well, I am witnessing the last dying breath of the last black hole, and with me there are all the other versions of myself scattered across the multiverse. So there is the alien Luca from the future, the one that was born from rich parents and spent all his money on nice girls, the one that saved a village from a dragon, the one that became the first werewolf ballerina in the Bolshoi theater. I don't know. Everyone is there, and we are exchanging the stories of our lives and the lore of our universe. My story surely will not be the coolest, because I will never visit another galaxy. I will never lead the resistance against Isaac Newton and his giant crocodile, but I still want it to be a good story. Maybe it will be a story of love, of knowledge, virtue, bravery, ingenuity, everything combined. That's my jam. A good story is made of joy, of sorrow, of fear, wonder. All the highs and the lows that are part of the human tale are worth experiencing because they make up for a good story. So yeah, to me the meaning of life is tied to bragging in front of myself and the concept of the multiverse. And I'm okay with that, but your mileage may very well vary. And I hope it does, because my brain is a weird place. And here is why you should never ask me philosophical questions. I get rambly very quickly, but I am also super curious to read about your view on the topic, so if you want, the comments are down there. Seriously, did you watch the entire thing? I'm impressed. I know, I want to thank you by revealing one of my biggest secrets. Just for you. I think you deserve it. You ready? On the 21st of May 2023, I will